Well, welcome back. Bruce Wilson here at the Old Dude Ranch app. I'm the Old Dude. We've been doing some series here with a horse named Blue. For those who haven't seen the videos, Blue is a very reactive wild horse, and I'm trying to take you through the steps of the effort and what we have to do to train Blue and get him to do the things that we want him to do to make him safe to ride. Uh, so that is what we're going to do today. So here I am out here with Blue. Blue is very reactive. He is not your normal horse. I don't know what his background is, but he's very, very reactive. So here I'm just yielding the rear end, working on yielding the rear end, making sure that when I look at his rear end, he turns that dangerous weapon he has away from me. He has been known to kick out with that rear end, and so want him to respect him. Now you can see that I can rub his forehead, and that's the spot that we've kind of got to on that, but I'm really working his rear end right now. I want him to be able to yield that rear end. Normally I'd pivot him on his left front or his right front as I yield the rear end, and I'll get to that. But right now he's too reactive for me to be that close, but I still want control of his rear end. So I stare at his rear end, I lean down. If I have to, I can put a whip, but I don't want to whip too hard, because if I whip at his rear end or if I point to his rear end, he will take off on me, and I want to gain his control that it's okay for me to be close. I don't want him always running off. So there, I yielded it with the whip a little bit. Now I rub it away, rub him to a stop. It's very important as I sensitize him that I desensitize him. So whatever we do to one side, of course, we do the other side. So now after I've tested his rear end, I'm going to go back. I want to just kind of test his body a little bit, test his legs. I've been working on his legs. I want to see where he's at on that. And this isn't the first day we've done this, but I still want to go back. And every day I kind of continue to work on some of the last drills that I've worked on. I don't have to go all the way back to the beginning, but I know the ones he struggled with. So one was yielding. One is being able to touch his legs with a whip, touch him at all. He's very still sensitive to being touched. He's still sensitive to being around people. You can see his ears are back, but he is standing. And so, although he's not going to relax all the way, I want him to stand as I rub his rear end, as I rub him away, as I just continue to take my whip and rub it up and down his leg. You can see how he doesn't like that. He's moving away. He doesn't like to be touched with stick and string around his leg. So whether you're I'm using my lunge whip here. I do have stick and string. I really don't care what you use. If you're that anal about whether you use the proper whip or the proper stick and string or how it is, I've got them all. I'm going to tell you, they all work. It's really you. It's really how you do it and what you like. And I'm not anal on how I hold it or how I do any of that. What I am anal about is you spend the time with him. So after I put pressure on him, you can see I rub it away. Now I want to touch his front. I want to touch his back legs. I want to run that whip up and down. I really want him to stand still. I want to keep the pressure on until he stands still. Once he stands still, I'll rub it away. And so we're just going to do that for a while. It's so important to rub it away. It's almost like once I put the pressure on, if you rub it away, it's like it didn't happen, and whatever you did to them was okay. They lived through it. And you can see all that wonderful snow. I've been going through winter. I normally don't do a lot of training in the winter. It gets dangerous. It gets slick. The horses slide. The feet go out from under them. But it's a great time really for groundwork. So just keep working the groundwork. Rub it away. Now I'm going to practice on yielding the front quarters. So we did a little yielding the hind quarters. I'm still working on yielding his front quarters. A little pressure, you take a step, I rub it away. I'm going to check his yield the other way. He does cross over the front feet, I like that. He does cross front feet, I like that, so I rub it away. And you can see, even rubbing it away, how sensitive it is. He doesn't want me to come in, even to rub it away. This horse is very sensitive. I've told you before, if I get hair 5,631, I might miss 5,630. He wants every hair to be desensitized, every step to be desensitized. Not sure if they bucked on him or what. I've talked about the scars he's had, but he is that sensitive. Now we're going to work on his flexing. Pull. Start and flexing his head. Pull. Minute he yields, I let go. Let's start on flexing. Yield, bump, bump, bump. Just a little bit. Let it go. Ideally, we'll bring him eventually all the way back to his belly, but we're still just starting flexing here. I just want him to know that if I get tension on that rope coming to him, so I rub it away, I slide my hand down the rope towards his head, and I want him to know that it's coming, and then I rub it away with the rope that I used. You see how sensitive he is, going and rubbing down his feet. He doesn't like that. Rubbing down his leg. He doesn't like that. So we got to do a lot of rubbing, a lot of love. See how nervous. Look at him lean. He hates being touched. He hates being anything towards him. You saw him lean away from me. As long as he stands still, I will take the pressure off. I'll probably have to shut it off for YouTube because YouTube hates it, but I got my music going in the background. I always have my music going around for a couple reasons. Makes me feel better. Keeps my mind off my issues and my pain, and this is my therapy. And also it keeps the horse, he's so subjective to loud noise and bumps. Just gets used to it. See how he's yielding away when I touch him. He used to kick at me when I do things like this, but he's getting better, but he's still hesitant to let me touch him, so I just keep working his leg. I start at his hip, and I come a slide down the leg, lower and lower and lower, lower, and this is building up so we can pick up his feet, right? This is so we can pick up all 4 feet. I'll do the same on the front legs, the back legs. Rub it away. Bump, bump, bump. Bring his head back. Mix it up a little bit. Yeah, Bee Gees are going. If you can't work to the Bee Gees, you can't. I shuffle between country and old classic rock. I am the old dude. I admit it, and I love being the old dude. I know my neighbors don't like it. I apologize, but it's the only way I can do this. Gotta have your music with you. Oh, Bill Cosby said, gotta have the music with you, or the monster's gonna get you after 10 o'clock. Same thing. Monster's gonna get me if I don't have my music with me. Take the time. Get these animals so they just love you. Now I'm going to teach him how to lead a little bit. I'm just pulling a little bit at an angle. If I pull straight, he's going to plant his feet. So walk at an angle. Walk right, walk left, then rub it away. Get him used to following you. Now I'm going back and practice on the haltering method. He still hates being haltered, so you can see I rub my hands up on both sides. I take that rope around his neck, get him used to me reaching around his neck with the halter and with the rope. And you saw earlier we were desensitizing to that. Now I'm going back on flexing. If you find a spot when you rub that he's really sticky, keep working that spot. Sometimes on him you have to work the air before you even touch him. Go back to spots that he likes, but just keep rubbing it away. I love how he lifted that foot. That's what I want. When I rub that foot, I want him to lift it up and take the pressure off. I'm not going to grab it. I'm not going to try to pick it up yet. I'm just still rubbing him away. I want him so comfortable with everything we touch, with everything we do, because he is hyper reactive. Yeah, I know people tell me I'm crazy for working a horse like this, but I just don't want to do 2 things. I want to show you it can be done, but I also want to show you, and I'm sorry these get boring, but it shows you the time that it takes to love a horse. Everybody just wants to buy a horse and have them out there. And I don't want just pasture pets. This horse isn't mine, but I don't want them to have a pasture pet, because the way he is, he would just be a pasture pet that you couldn't even touch. All you're doing is feeding. So now we're going to yield the head a little bit. Get him used to yielding the head down. So you saw me reach up on the head. There's a spot right above the pole, about an inch back, that I will work on. Go back to leading. Now he's used to yielding the rear end a little bit, so I walk towards to get him to yield so he doesn't run off. I want him to be able to follow me. Now I'm going to run up and yell. I want him to get used to my craziness. So you saw me walk back. I'm going to run up and yell till he stands still. I'm still being nuts. I'm still being crazy. He doesn't know how to act about this. He hasn't seen this before. I'm still giving him an energy. I'm still giving him energy. Not as much, but I want to give it. I got my hand going. Doesn't quite know what to do with this. If he starts running to the right, you see I step into the right. I step into the left of him a little bit until he starts calming down. I'm going to tell him to go back. Now I'm going to rub it away. That was a lot of energy for him. So now I'm going to back up again. I'm going to back up. I'm going to run up again. That's all the energy I need right there. I'm going to stay a little bit. Stay a little bit. Bump his head a little bit. Keep the energy going. Now I'm going to walk away. Approach and retreat. Approach and retreat. I want him getting used to me being able to run up and yell and scream and wave my arms. There. Now you see how much better he acted that time. So I drop the energy and rub it away. Back up. I'm going to run up and yell. He thinks, but he's still holding his feet. I like that. So I'm just going to rub it away. I'm not coming into him hard. Run up and yell. Run up and wave. Scream. Love that. Love that. Trying to teach him that he doesn't always have to be reactive. If it was too reactive and he took off on me, I'd round pen him. I'd put the pressure on. And then I would do it again. Walk away, approach and retreat, run back up. Oh, much better. Rub it away. Now I'm going to come off a little bit of an angle. Just a little bit of an angle and do it. He turned his way, but I'm good with that. See, I turned his behind. He's more comfortable facing me than he is with his rear end. I like that, but that shows you how he doesn't want me on that side. He doesn't want me on that, so I'm going to keep working that side a little bit. I'm walking that way. I'm walking that way. I'm walking off that side. He's snorting at me. He's not sure. Now I'm going to rub it away. Rub it away with that nasty rope. Rub it away with my nasty face. Rub it away. Oh, going to get him again. Heart attacks are free. Give your horse one early and often. I'm going to keep going with pressure, pressure till he stops. You saw that, and then he stopped, but I'm on the side. He's more sensitive on the sides than he is directly on. I'm going to walk away, approach and retreat. Keep using the method. I did the right side, and I'm going to do a little bit on the left. See me come down the left a little bit? He came to me there, put his head down, I rub it away. I'm going to go a little bit farther to the left. See if he'll let me on that side. A little bit more on the left. I got my left hand going, the rope in my right hand. Going to rub it away more on the left side. See, I'm rubbing more away on his right side. See how I'm doing that? I want him used to me scaring him. I want him used to me being crazy. All the dancing I do, all the running, and all that stuff I've done earlier on the videos to prepare him to get to this point. There, surprising. 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 Stood still. I'm going to rub it away. Still going to work for that right side of him, though. That side, he's very, very shy, very bashful, very reactive. There I come down towards the right side. I'm going to run to the right side. His right side, my left. I'm point him a little bit to the right. Put pressure on him a little bit to the right. Put pressure. Get him ahead of me. There we go. Now I can come a little bit harder on that right side. Get him used to me coming to the side. There we go. He turned that side, so I took the pressure off. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Run up and rub. I like to get it. I can come in forward. I can come in at an angle, or I can come right from either side. Right up to him. I never go do it towards the rear end, though. That's for my safety. But I want him to get used to me being crazy, and I want him, and no matter what crazy's going on, he's going to stand. Now I'm going to rub it all away. Not only do I have to rub that away, I have to rub him because he still doesn't like being touched. Notice how I do that walking away. That's a good way to do it. Sometimes when you're walking away, scaring them, it's better. It's leaving them. It's not coming at them. So if you need to start there doing it away from them, do it away from them. Rub it away. I scream, I yell, make noise. I increase the pressure as I can. Now I'm really yelling at him. Just getting him used to people, getting him used to me, getting him. Can you imagine riding him and somebody spooks him? You know, this is how you get rid of some of that spookiness. You know, when a deer jumps in front of you, or an elk jumps, or a bear, or a cougar, or another horse, or cow, or whatever it is. Horn honking, or cars, or you got to start somewhere. This is all desensitizing. And you can mix them up, you know, mix up your yielding the forequarters, yielding the hindquarters, yielding, you know, flexing. Now, we're going to throw the rope at him. I've been working on this, throw to a stop. He still isn't very good to throw to stop. He's getting better to let me throw the rope at him, but you see how he still is walking away from me. So I'm letting the rope stay there. I'm not going to throw it as fast. I'm going to let him just stand still with the rope on and say, see, the pressure goes away if you hold still. Throw the rope at him, walk up, throw to a stop. We were throwing at the ground earlier, now I'm going around his rear legs. Very sensitive rear legs, still wants to kick a little bit. Now I'm going to rub it away. I just threw that nasty rope at him, now I'm going to rub it away. Oh, I did one side, now I got to do the other side. We've been working on this with him. I got to continue to work on him so I can throw the rope. When I first started, you couldn't even throw the rope to the ground, but now he's getting a little bit better. Now, some horses will let you do this all in a day and you can move on and you can keep coming back, but this horse, I mean, it's 4 or 5 days just throwing a rope. 4 or 5 days throwing the rope at his feet. There I'm checking the front legs. Now let's check the hind legs. I love how he's standing still, so I'm going to rub it away. There, a little bit more. Sometimes when that rope slaps them on the other side, they don't like it. Perfect. I love how he's standing there. Now he's starting to stand. Now I'm going to walk away, take the pressure away. He's standing, I'm going to take the pressure away. See how he still doesn't like to lead a little bit, so we'll work on that. Rub it away. Now we're going to introduce him again. We've been introducing him to the blanket, the horse pad. He hates new objects. He hates pads. He hates anything that moves. See how he's pulling a little bit? So I'm going to get on his rear end and put a little bit of pressure on him and take it away. Now I'm going to flap it out here a little bit. Not close to him. Make some noise with it, just like my run up and rub, run up and yell. This is what we're preparing him for. So we're still working the blankets. I'll do one side, now I'm going to approach his face. That's where he's more common. Let him smell it, take it away. Flap it, work it, let him know. And I'm going to bring it back up to him slow. Let him smell it, like how he's smelling it, rub it away, and take it away. Approach and retreat. Every object with this horse we've had to do this with, from a lead rope, from a halter, from even the whip and stick and string. He is so sensitive. I even got busted one day in color. I wore a different coat. He didn't like that. But that's all the time it takes to desensitize this guy. Now he's getting a little excited. Now you notice I go right for his rear end. I put pressure on his rear end. I keep pressure till he stops. Then I back it off and I'm going to rub it away. Notice I put the blanket in my left hand. I'm not approaching him with the blanket. He's snorting at me there. He sees that blanket, but I'm going to rub it away, even with the blanket in the other hand, where it's not so attacking him, where the blanket's passive and not aggressive. Passive position, aggressive position. Sometimes you got to have being aggressive. Sometimes you got to be passive. So now we're going to work on it again, coming back up. Let him smell it. Approach, retreat. Oh, see him. He's still leaning, but he's holding still. He's not pulling on the rope. He hates it. He hates it. But I'm going to put the pressure on a little bit here because he's letting me come in a little bit closer. Now I retreat. We want to get where we can saddle this horse. We can have pack or whatever we want on a horse like this without any issues. Tarps. I could do the same thing with the tarp. Now I'm going to set it up on his back. Going to rub it a little bit. A little bit. That's a lot of pressure for this horse. That's just incredible pressure for this horse. So I'm going to take it away. I'm going to bring it back and take it away. Bring it back and take it away. Now I'm going to simulate throwing a saddle or throwing a pad or something. Approach and retreat. See how that's making him nervous. See how that's making him nervous, but I'm a lot closer than I was. Now we're going to rub it all away. I put all that pressure, now I'm going to make him relax. Go right back to it. Approach and retreat. I'm going to throw this on your back. I'm going to throw this on your back. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We've had it there. I want you to get used to that motion of me throwing a pad out or throwing a saddle up there. Now retreat. He's standing still and rub it away. I go back to the passive mode. Let him smell it. Let him rub it. Now I'm going to put it back on up there. He doesn't like that. Now I'm going to pull it away quickly because that was my motion going away. I gave him more energy going away from him than I did towards him as a relief point. Let him smell it. He wants to see what's going on, so I'm going to let him smell it. Bit of working. Approach and retreat. Approach and retreat. Rub it away. Go back, putting it on his back. Now I'm giving a little bit of energy, tapping him with it and taking it away. Instead of setting it gently, I'm starting to put more energy, tapping him with it. Coming for you. A lot of pressure. Take it away. Yep, rub it away. I'm not really coming for him. That's how he feels. He feels like we're going to capture him or throw the blanket at him. Or I put that energy when he's not behaving. When he's behaving, I want him to get used to this blanket coming up and off of his back. It's not going to hurt him. I want him comfortable with that. And I love how he steps towards me for relief. He's getting really good at, if I step towards you, it's my relief. It's his submissive. It's his way of relaxing. Now I'm just going to tap him with it. Just tap, tap, tap. Take it away. Now we did it to one side. What do we got to do the other side? You notice there's a whole, as much as I was tapping with him, I can't get that close now. You see, he doesn't like it. It's a whole different brain. It's a whole different side. He's starting to snort at me, starting to walk away, starting to pull. So I'm going to just keep the energy up until he stood still. Now approach and retreat. Oh, I love how he stepped towards me there. So I'm going to give it to him because he stepped towards me and say, yep, see, it was okay. I love that. That's what I want. Now I'm going to try to rub it away. I'm going back to the passive. Very passive. You notice how I'm turned so nothing happened. I can get out of the way if he tries to kick or anything like that. Come in a little bit. Now notice the energy I put in walking away. So it's not all the energy coming towards him. Approach and retreat. Same thing we did the other side. It's just repetition in horse training. Knowing what to do, knowing your drills, knowing your methods. You can find the methods anywhere out there, right? Of yielding the hindquarters or yielding the forequarters or approach and retreat. See, he's getting anxious, so I'm putting energy on him. He's getting anxious. He held still, so I rub it away. Love, he's still snorting at me. Love the way he snorts. He's getting better on his snorting. Pressure, rub it away. Here's where we bond right here. That this is my bonding moment with him. He loves that security and safety. He loves coming to me and putting his head into me saying, I'm just scared. I don't want to be bad. I'm just scared. And that's what I see with this horse. He's got a huge heart, big heart, but he's turning his head in because he's just scared. He's unsure. So now I'm getting a little more energy closer. See him step away, but he stopped, and I take the pressure. Remember, they release the pressure, so when he holds still, I want to take the pressure off. Okay, we continue to rub it, continue to make him feel comfortable. I hold the blanket in a passive position. I bring it a little bit closer to him. He's holding still with me in the blanket there. I know this is really hard. His heartbeat is just racing right now. He wants to be reactive. He wants to jump. You see his ears pinned back. He's really struggling. He's snorting at me. And then he behaved. I take it away. And I see his ears come forward, see him look at me. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. Now we're going to work it some more. We're going to do it some more. Just let him smell. You know, there's so many politics going on right now with COVID and all the cancel culture. It just drives me nuts. And I called in the radio the other day. It just upset me, and I wish I wouldn't because it just hurts me more because I don't think like anybody else. But how I get rid of all the day-to-day stress at work and the cancel culture and the pressure and the insanity that's going on is by horses. This horse, he doesn't give me all the hassle that people give me. If I had my way, I'd be out in the middle of the mountains all by myself, living alone, living off the land, riding my horses, playing with dogs, fishing, hunting. That's my life. That's where I want to be. And I really support people who love nature and take care of nature and take care of the land. And I love my guns and I love all that. I just don't know how. What I do get frustrated with today, and I'm getting on my rant right now, but these idiots that think West country music is country anymore drives me crazy because I love country music too and rock and roll, as you can tell. But the problem is people don't live this lifestyle anymore. They don't understand what country is. They never live country. I really learned this going into New York one day for work, and I'm listening to the country station, and it's the same stations they play here in Salt Lake. And I'm like, this guy thinks he's country living in a high-rise apartment. That shows you even the songwriters don't grow up in the country anymore. There was one songwriter that my wife and I went to lunch with, and I wish I could remember The Color Blue. I wish I could think of his name. It just escapes me right now, but we were having lunch with him. I asked him if he's country. You ever get out and ride? You ever get out and fish? You ever get out and hunt? You ever get... Oh, I'm big on country. I said, well, what do you do? What's your country activity? He says, I surf. Well, if surfing is your country activity and you are a country singer, I don't care how big you are, you don't know a thing about country. It drives me insane. I really wish they had true country music. This BB Rexa crap and all this crap they have on, and even some of these Kelsey Ballerini, and just insane. They don't know country if it hit them in their butt. So I love true people who grew up on the country, who know how to sing about country. If you're singing about gambling at the Minnery as your dream, or being on a beach with a tequila, in my mind, you're not country. Sorry, that's my phone going off. Yep, I got to go get my alfalfa hay. It's ready. Oh, Gary Allen's the country singer name. Yeah, Gary Allen. Great country singer. Oh, yeah, he's country all the way. He's the surfer dude. From California. That's all he knows, California. Give me a mountain man any day. Anyway, I get off on my pet peeves and I shouldn't, but I'm sorry. But, idiots today. Idiots, idiots. Okay, now we're done with the... I'm going to work on backing up a little bit. This is first I've really played with him a little bit, but I want to do backing up. We want to do wiggle, whack, and wave. You know, there's 3 types of backups, but I just want to work on backing him up. So just to start with, there's a couple things I want to do with the horse. I want to be able to move him left, right, forward, and back, and I want to be able to get his head to go up and down, right, and get him to flex and bend. So I'm just getting him to back up a little bit for me. You can wiggle the rope. If he doesn't go, I can wiggle the stick, and I'll just keep moving back and forth till I can get full control of him, moving him forward, backwards, sideways, left, right, put some bend in. So as I back him up, if he starts going one way or the other, I start walking more to that side. The minute he yields, I stop and rub it away because he's not good at backing up yet, but we want to work on it. See, he's got sticky feet, so what do? I look at his rear end, make him start walking, and now I pull. That's what I talk about in lead. If he doesn't come when I pull him, I don't just pull on it. I make him move his feet and then turn him as he goes in the direction I want him to go. I'm not going to win that tug of war. I'm big, fat, and ugly, but that's it. I'm not fat enough to pull on him. So he's going off one side. I yield the rear end. I look at that. He's been taught to yield a little bit. I make him go back. He wants to go left and right. I'm going to just keep working him until he goes backwards to give relief. There. Now he stepped back. Now I give the relief. So if he doesn't go where I want him to go, I will keep the pressure on. Oh, there's my singing going on out there. Sorry. Good song. Good music. Little kiss action going on in the background. Just keep working. Now I'm rubbing the side of his head with the stick. He doesn't like that. I'll rub the sides. I want him to get so comfortable with me that I can rub all over him, that I can approach him any way. That to him, that's just the idiot being stupid again. It's not going to bother me. So we've worked on a lot of things so far, flexing, rubbing things away, throw at a stop, heart attack, run up and rub, blanket, introduction, backing up. Now just flat desensitizing. Now I'm whacking the string to get him to back up, whacking the lead rope, and rub it away. Doesn't happen overnight, guys. Have patience. And this horse will take patience. Trust me. I put so much more time in this than I normally do. But it's a point. It's proving. If you use the methods, if you use the items, if you know the methods, don't go learn them. There's very good horse trainers out there that can give you detailed methods of each method that I use. And I use a combination. And there's some I hate. Pat Pirelli. Don't care for him. To me, this isn't a game. You're going to get hurt if you're going to play a game. You got to use the proper methods. And they don't have to be perfect. What it has to be is consistency and reading your horse and getting him to like you, becoming a partner with your horse, becoming a marriage, getting that connection, which I have with this horse. And you see it when he steps towards me. So now I'm just flipping the stick and string over his head, over his head, over his head, over his head, left and right. Rub it away. Just keep flipping him. Now I'm using the string out there, spanking the ground, putting some excitement in, getting him to stand. I wiggle it as I walk away from him. That way it's not so aggressive. Now I'm going to stand up to the side. Going to start spanking the ground. Now I'm going to rub it away. Really want to get him where he's desensitized, where he's calmed down and he's not running around crazy like a chicken with his head cut off. He's not kicking the fence. He's not kicking at me. He's not rearing at me. So I'm putting energy in the ground, putting energy. If he ever takes off and pulls, I'm gonna round pin him. I'm gonna push. You see how he doesn't like that energy. I'm gonna keep the energy up on both sides. Keep putting energy into the ground, putting energy all the way around him. I don't want him to be scared of the stick and string. I don't want him to be scared of my energy. I want to teach him when I put energy into things, you stop. So I'm just putting energy in. See how excited he is. You see his head bob. Many horses do that when things go down. They get the head bob. He was really a head bobber when we started all these exercises. And I've done them with him. I'm just going back to him. Just going back. I want to be able to get to where I can spank the ground and walk all the way around him. If you want to see a finished product, go look at my video with Cash Cab and doing some Liberty, and I'll show you where you can get to, where you can dance with your horse and where he'll stand still and come to you and connect. And the partnership I have with Cash is just fantastic. He's my Secretariat blood, Doc Bar blood horse, wonderful horse. He's the one at the beginning of the videos, every video I do. Now I'm going to do a little bit of circle driving. Get him to lead in a circle. So you see where my stick is. It's in my opposite hand, and I can whip it towards his butt. See, I whip it towards his butt when he doesn't move. I want to get him comfortable with me walking beside him, leading beside. That's what I'm doing here. A little bit of leading beside, a little bit of circle driving combo. He does not like to be led. So this is a good way, rather than pulling on him, I can teach him to lead, where I can use my stick and string to make him move rather than having to keep walking behind. Now you notice I looked at his rear end, I yielded it. Now I do it the other side, stick in my right hand. If I need him to move, that stick will whip towards his tail. He'll move. He's got tons of energy. If I have to, I could spank him a little bit with it, but I don't have to. This horse is way energetic. He's backing up on me a little bit. Keep your belly pointed forward. Keep your belly pointed forward. Stay to his side. See it? Little flip of the string, little flip of the stick. I want him to get comfortable with however I lead him, wherever I lead him. Yield his rear end. I look at his rear end. He's got that down still pretty good. You see him yield it. We go the other way. Great exercise with these hot, hyper horses who are hard to lunge. They're hard to circle drive or do a C pattern. They're hard to do ascending pattern down the fence. It's just you want to gain their control, and you want them to be right with you. It also leads to Liberty, where I can take the rope all the way off, and I do that with Cash in that other Liberty video, where I can do this without a rope, where you get that bonding and you get connected. People say, how do you get that way, Bruce? How do you get to that finished horse? And these are the beginning stages right here. As wild and as hot as he is, I'm teaching him to stay with me. Get you on some good Trace Atkins or somebody, get some country music, good rock and roll, mix it up. Blake Shelton, George Strait, Dwight Yoakam, and just enjoy and relax. It's going to be a hard time sending this horse back to its owner. I'll be proud of it, but I've put so much time and energy into it. I just bond with every horse I work with. See there, he wasn't going, so now I'm trying to get him to back up a little bit. Stay in position. Get him to stop. Doesn't want to stop and yield as easy. Point. I point in the direction I'm going to go. When I take off, I back up, see if he wants to back a little bit. He's not. There we go. Give me a little bit of backup. There you go. That's beginning to, I go forward and I get him to back up. That's what I want to do. A little bit at a time. Get me a drink here. I'm getting dry while I'm talking to you. See how he's backing up with me? Awesome. I want him to read me. I want him to be able to back up, walk, circle, drive, whatever I want him to do. I want him connected. Try to go back. I can tap his front end a little bit if I need to, like that. There we go. There we go. See, he's fighting it a little bit. Just keep working. I spank in front of him. He turns around, gets behind. He's coming sideways, but at least he's coming backwards. Looks ugly at the beginning. It'll get there. Take the time to work with him. When my head goes up like that, I want him to stop. He didn't do it, so I put some energy in him. There we go. There we go. Just spend time, spend hours walking them, leading them. People, say, oh, I can't get my horse to lead. They're going to fight me. Well, this is how I do it right here. It's a great tool. It's a great weapon. Now he's getting more excited and he got away from me. So what am I going to do? We're going to go into a lunging pattern because he gives up. This horse, most horses will do that. After a while, they get tired. They get tired of doing the same thing. They're going to test you. So when they do, put some energy in him, send him back out, then bring him back in and redo it and find a quitting spot. If I quit right here, I would lose. Quit when they're doing good. Don't quit when they're doing bad. So I'm just going right back to working the leader rope, working him. He didn't yield very well. Bump, there we go. I'm going to calm him back down a little bit, rub it away because he's getting a little excited. He's not thinking. So I'm going to rub it away. I don't have to get too excited with these horses. That's what I'm talking about. See right there how he pulls on me when I want him to come? So finally he did. That's what I'm trying to work out of him. Point, 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 bump. Point, 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 point. There we go. Point. Back. There we go. Just go right back to what you were working on after you get them to move their feet. If you have a spooky, jumpy, hot horse, these sessions today is what you need to do. Then run up and rub. Getting them to lead, getting them to move. I'm putting some energy in him. He's not minding. You saw me spank with the whip. He's not minding. I'm going to put some energy in him. I want him to come up beside me. There we go. Now he came up beside me. Now, spank in the back because he stopped. He wanted to go away. So you saw me whip the whip towards his rear end around my back. And basketball players think they can play around their back and through their legs. We can too. Perfect. That's what I want. All right, back to calm walk. Notice how he's got his head tucked in. He's bending. He's already starting to bend his body. He's starting to watch me, pay attention to me, so I'm going to rub it away and tell him thank you. And you can give him a treat here if you want. A lot of people give him a treat. Some people don't give him treats because they get nippy. It's all up to you. I don't mind giving treats. I give all my horses treats, but it's really up to you. You don't feed them too much, they don't get nippy. But now and then I think it's good for him to bond with you, especially in this wild stage, although he won't take anything from me for quite a while. He's just too scared. Now he's back to listening to me. Now get him to yield. Turn her. Rub it away. Ask him to come the other way. Left hand. This is so good for him. So good for him. To be able to connect with me, to bond with me. And it's passive, right? It's very passive. I'm not being aggressive. It's just everything isn't run, everything isn't hot, everything isn't wild. I'm trying to teach him, you can be with me, we can walk, and we can be calm at the same time. There's no sense of getting all excited. Now I'm going to rub it away. Rub, rub, rub. Point, point, take off, and he came right with me. That was beautiful. See, he wants to be good. He just doesn't know how. Even though this horse will be challenging, and there's many challenges to come, because we're just trying to get around him and around his body, right? We haven't started getting on him, which is a whole other challenge this horse is going to give you. There we go. I want him to back up. He didn't back up, so I'm going to push him a little bit more into the back up. And close the fence. See how he tugs on the rope, but he's getting better to coming forward. I'm going to ask him to settle down, because he did come a little bit forward. I'm going to back him up a little bit there. Turns his body, so I step that way to get him in the right direction, get him square. Go right back to what, we've been teaching him. Get control. See, he's trying to figure it out. He's moving left and right. He's trying to figure it out. He's trying to figure out this backing, because I want him to go back a little bit. He's not sure about that. There we go. Now he stepped back a little bit. Now I'm going to rub it away, probably. Come in. There we go. There we go. There's my step. There's my step. There's a good step. Went right back to that. We were doing it earlier the other day. You saw it. Go back and rework on it until it becomes good. And once I get one backing down, we go to the rest of the methods. I don't want to mess him up too many, teaching him the march and everything else, because it just gets confusing. He's still trying to learn that I can go backwards. There we go. There's rubbing it away. All that pressure, all that excitement, let's calm him down, rub it away, and give me a little backup. There we go. Got a step, got a half a step, whatever it takes. Take what they give you. Everything is take what they give you. Find a starting point. Don't expect it to be perfect. It comes. I don't know if I could get AC/DC blasted any louder out there today. It's really going. Puts a lot of energy in me. Love it. Back, 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 back. Got a step, stop. Perfect. Back, back, back. There we go. Got a step. Perfect. See, he's getting there. Just got to practice. Rub it away. Rub it all away. There we go. Stay there 5 or 6 seconds sometimes. I could stay there a little bit longer. I do when I'm beginning, but that's their resting. That's the reward. That's the release of pressure. So I am going to rub it all away. I'm just going to take time to start rubbing him down. He's been hot. We've been through a lot the last couple days you've seen here. And I'm right back down to get him comfortable with me hanging on him, rubbing with the rope. Look, I'm hunting for spots. I'm trying to find a spot I haven't touched yet that he doesn't want me to touch. Under his belly, down his legs, wherever. This is where I do it after he's been thinking it. And I like doing it at the end of the exercises, at the end of the day, where he's calm, where he's thinking, where he's not reactive. Now I'm just pulling on his head a little bit. Pull down, pull down. There. The minute his head comes down, I release the pressure. Drop it out of your hands. It's so important to get his head up, going up and down. So pull down, pull down, pull down, pull it. There, he gave, I let go. Pull, 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 he gave, and I'll let go. Not till he gives. That's where I start getting him to lower his head. I want him, there's driving pressure, and this is a driving hard pressure. So I'm just going to pull, pull, pull. Get him to give his head. The minute he gives his head, bump, 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 I take the pressure off. I'll spend hours doing this. And I'll also push down on the top of his head on the pole. Now I'm putting halter on him, putting halter, rubbing, getting him so used to my hands going around him and up and over the top, hugging him. You could not put a halter on this horse. You couldn't even get that close. It was hard to get it off. Going back to pulling down on the head. Pull down. I'm just grabbing the side of the cheek piece there of the halter. I use a 4-knot halter on these horses so that the knots will bite in a little bit more. I like them better than a flat halter. I don't have much use for a flat halter until I have a dead broke trained horse. Then I really don't care because I'm not using the halter for anything. But these 4-knot halters, 1/4 inch, highly recommend them. Got a lot of bite, a lot of give, a lot of grip. I go through them a lot because my horses chew on them. So my horse will come up on him and chew that halter right off his head. Ah, my wonderful Cash. Great horse, but he is a problem horse too. Can't get him to stop chewing. If I lead ropes, I put soap, I put everything on him. That's something, if you know how to keep him chewing on lead ropes, let me know. I use Irish Spring soap. It works the best. But once it washes out, they go right back to it. I've tried bitters. I've tried everything. So we're just going to work on him. We're going to love him. Work on his head. Get him comfortable with me. Rubbing away, rubbing around his eyeballs, rubbing up and down. I want him so comfortable standing next to me. Eventually this horse will love to bury his head right into my chest and just, he can hide his eyes and his head in my arms. He's so comfortable and gentle, and that's what I love about him. That shows me he's got a huge heart, and he's just scared. Doesn't know how not to be scared. So just like a baby cuddles up in their mom's arms and they're quiet and feels comfortable. Same with a lot of horses. If you can get their head buried in your arms, it's a comfortable, quiet space. So I'm just pulling on that halter, pulling down on that halter, getting him used to me moving his head up and down. Bump, 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 let release. Bump, 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 release. Rub it all away. Eruption playing in the background. Great song. I just don't want a horse to have an eruption. Great theme for what I'm doing. Don't want him to erupt anymore. Just spend hours rubbing them. Spend hours loving on them. Looking for that weak spot. Rub them with the rope. Rub them with things that scare them. Now I'm doing a crossover. My hand comes underneath and I move his head to the right. Practice that. That's a very good drill where you can get him to cross over, step over from left to right. Put my left hand underneath, bring him over the other way. So bump him to the left. See that? I'm teaching him to cross over and step. There we go. So now I'm just taking my head, going under his cheek, and I'm moving his head left to right. Now I'm going to move it the other way and bump it across, get him to step. Very good tool, that crossover. So when you're bridling, when you're working him, you can move him to the left and right rather than having his head go in the air. Now I'm doing a little bit of pressure, yield to 4/4, same thing. Going back to things I've worked on. My hand goes underneath, bring him to the right, yield him across. Very, love the way he's doing that without taking off. So you're just taking your hands and you're going underneath the cheek and bringing it, waving it across your face. Put a little energy here, get him to move. Get him to back up again. There we go. Just redoing things I've already worked with him over and over again until we get it down correctly. Oh, now we got a simple kind of man on. That's who I am, simple kind of man. And horse training is simple. It just takes time. Now rub him out, looking for spots. Hours, 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 find that spot. I move more and more towards the back end as he gets comfortable. See that? I start in the front. I start to work farther behind to his rear end. He's not used to that. Hasn't got his feet picked up in the rear yet. So that's what we're getting to. Inch by inch, keep looking for him, rubbing his belly, getting him ready for a cinch, slapping his belly, getting him ready for a cinch, rubbing it away, rubbing farther on his back, farther down his back legs. Don't want him to kick, just being careful, getting him used to me handling him. Rub it away. Oh, you can see the neighborhood goat came out over there. That's old Gooch the goat. I guess he's even got a web funny page or something. I don't know. I have a web page for a Gooch the goat, but hey, I love it. Animals are great. They need a web, whatever, Facebook, book face, whatever it is. Go make you a page. I don't even know if they let you do that for animals. I have no clue. Just handling him, just moving him, just handling him. I love how he's bending that leg now because he knows I want to, pick it up. So he's starting to pick it up for me. There we go. Thank you. That's how we start doing it right there. He's knowing I don't mind picking that leg up. I know you're working on it on the front. I haven't got the backs going yet, but you see him start giving the fronts. You can reach in on the front and start squeezing the chestnut, but I'm not ready for that yet. He's just isn't that comfortable with being handled. Just act like he's your woman. Know every curve of him, massage him, rub him down. Just act like you would anybody else, your spouse or your mate. Rub him down, massage him, pat him, make him comfortable with you, all over him, hanging on him. Make him very comfortable with that. Till you know their whole shape, blindfolded. You could pick out what horse you have just by rubbing him. That's how bad it gets. You could blindfold me and I could rub all my horses and I can tell you which one I got. Building a memory, muscle memory. I'm looking for spots. I'm looking for shaky spots. I'm looking for that hair I missed. Looking for that tick. I'm looking for that. I'm just rubbing away the evil. I'm rubbing away the scaredness. The more I rub him, the more the scaredness in him goes away. So it's kind of like magic. This is your magic rub. See, I get both hands going up and down and moving. I'm rubbing all that spookiness out of him, all that touchiness out of him. Now I'm patting him. That's new, patting, touching, motion, feelings. Just like casting a spell, rubbing your crystal ball here, rub all the evil away. Now I'm coming down his back legs just like I did on the other side. Getting him used to being touched. Getting used to him being felt. Here's a horse that didn't want me to get there. Go back that leg again. And many people skip this in videos. I mean, they skip the bonding moments. They skip the intermediate steps. They skip the brutality of what it takes. But I'm going to tell you, the faster you skip things, the worse off you're going to be. Now I can pick his feet up. See that? He's been picking them up for me. Now I start to pick his feet up. He's been giving it to me. So finally I say, okay, I'll take it from you. He's been offering it. He's been picking it up. So now I'm starting to pick his feet up. I didn't have to squeeze the chestnut. He just knows what I wanted finally. See that? Now I got a horse that I couldn't touch, and now I can pick up his front foot. Just like that. And I'll keep going back to it. Oh, I love how he brought his head down. See what I was doing. He was okay with that. Rather than the head going up, he's coming down to check out what's going on. Still looking for that spot I haven't touched. Both sides. See how comfortable he is? See how he's standing there? Now he's checking me out, bonding with me. He's good with that. Now I'm rubbing that front leg. You see him lift the left front leg. No, it's not the left front I want, bud. I'll keep rubbing the right. He's not quite sure which leg to lift here. That's how their brain thinks. Left and right brain, two different brains. There we go. Now that foot came up. Perfect. Perfect. Rub it away. Perfect. Now back to this foot. Perfect. Just keep working them. See how he's bending down? Really giving, really yielding right there. I like it. Great sign for this hot. Well, I hope you. Now I'm going to the back, doing the same thing. That's the first time his back foot come up, but now he's comfortable with that. I'm checking his back, seeing how they're coming. He did lift up his left rear. Well, I'm hoping you're enjoying these videos. I'm hoping you're learning. I hope you enjoy watching Cash. Check out all my videos out there of Cash or of, and we'll just continue to work him and continue to work all the way through. See his back leg, and have a great day. Take care. It's the old dude. Have a great weekend.